something or what? Wow. Orange glory. It's going to be a glorious, albeit cold day. Yeah, this is a beaver wigwam. And they're in there. Some fresh chewed poplar sitting in the sun, softening up. Hey friends, I'm Chris. This is photography. These are beaver wood chips. They're active, but I haven't seen any. No sign except footprints. No purring either. In case you don't know, that's what they do. They purr. It's been a bleak 4 weeks, very little sun, colder than -25, locked inside, yearning to get out. I have, however, made several treks out onto the ice, up and down, with snowshoes sometimes. Looking for the otter, looking for other things, including boats on the hard. Stick around. It'll be interesting. Fortunately, when the overall conditions don't cooperate with me, I've got this fast flowing water that accumulates ice, so it always gives me somewhere to go and photograph for my ongoing ice series. I like it here because this is a cataract, about 7 or 8 drops in the water, and as it goes over the cataract you get these nice curving sheets of ice, which you don't really see that often, maybe on aircraft wings. So what I also like about this is I can use long shutter speed, so I can get a little bit of camera movement without moving the camera, and the ice provides the subject matter, the focal point. The ground, the background, is the water moving. In particular, this water here, with a long exposure, generally I shoot around a 1/4 second, sometime a 15th, and the water turns black. And so with the aeration, I get those nice white streaks and the black, which juxtapose against the ice very nicely. I've got 2 nice curved spots hooked up here I'm going to take a photograph and I'll give you a look. What I do is a 2-second delay on my shutter, and there is really no need to focus stack this sort of an image. It's very compressed. I'm shooting exactly 100 millimeters on my 7350G on Sony a6500. That makes it 100 millimeters. To get the right light, I'm all the way down at f22. And really what I'm trying to get is the little drips that are coming off the underside of the ice as it's rolling through. That's really what gives it this nice bubble texture. In case you've wondered, I have showed you several photographs in the past from this secret site. If you have one near you, I'd highly recommend you get out there and give it a try. Works in all different temperature ranges when it's cold. As you can see, this sort of area, it can freeze right over, and then you're out of luck, right? But it's starting to open up again. We got this middle section still frozen. It's quite treacherous. No walking on this ice. That's a big no-no. And what I do is I just move around here and I create my own little tiny mini compositions, taking sections of this. This is the beauty of using a long focal length for this sort of work. This is a very tight area. The trees are very, very dense in here, so it's not much of a landscape sort of a locale. It's much more suited to abstract landscape, in my opinion. There are a lot of oak trees in this forest. So if you know your oaks, the leaves are still hanging. They keep coming down every now and then. And that's why I'm trying to compose some of these images with the snow and at least one maple or one oak leaf. They've got that nice golden color. So as always, in these bright winter conditions, whether you're shooting video or still, you have to consciously overexpose because your camera is always going to try and fool you and crush you down to middle gray for your exposure. So shoot with your histogram and overexpose. Now I'll show you this one here. So this one's got more snow in the background, and the water is highly aerated coming down off this cataract that's right behind there. So that shows you where you should pick for composition and contrast in a moving body of water like this. The first photograph I showed you was by far the better of the two. We'll just move back this way and get a few more of those dark ones. Oh, ow. The one thing you want to do out here is ensure that you're sure-footed, like a gazelle or a mountain goat. You don't want to go into that water, believe me. /15 of a second, f22, ISO 100 millimeters. What do you think? I call that one incoming. No. These ones look like spaceships. They're floating on top of rocks. That's how they get this look. Today we have some sun, a little bit of color, a little bit of interest. That's been sadly lacking for about the last 3 weeks. big gray softbox descended over this region. The snow is exceptionally deep. The ice is thick. And there hasn't been much activity. A couple other things I have discovered though through my trekking along the ice. 2 more eagle nests. With the aforementioned new otter sites, that gives me quite a bit of diversity to look for this spring. I'm eagerly anticipating it. Can you hear them? Coyotes. They're on the shore of that island over there. This time of year is hard to find anything that you can shoot, anything to compose. Everything is ice and snow. Aside from the coyote, I showed you staring at me, contemplating me as lunch, I think. Either me or the turkeys that were over here. Probably the turkeys. The turkey tracks came from that way, across the border in the United States. Lots of coyote tracks going back and forth too. Foxes. It's primarily meditation, I guess, exercise. That's the reason I'm out in this kind of conditions. They've dominated for, well, to be honest, most of this winter. The sun has not shone that much. The ice is thick, the leads are few, the snow is deep. Snowshoes required for most trekking now. The ice, of course, with the wind gets swept bare, so I have a little bit of respite from the extra exercise of spreading your thighs as you snowshoe. It's not exactly comfortable. Early morning rising, that's been my focus pretty much for the last month. Reinvestigating sunrise and the color scheme, which is quite lovely. I'd almost forgotten that pink and orange combination. Sunrise over verandas, that was my focus. A ship grounded further up the river. I got some interesting comps and frames on that. A few I'll be working. The exhibit is over at the gallery. I didn't sell anything, but neither did anyone else. The economy, don't you know? Well, the ice is trying to sing. It's more like groaning. Changing. Spring. It's here. Won't be long now. Another couple of weeks I won't be able to walk out here. So I might as well take advantage of it while I can. Turkeys, coyotes, foxes, ravens and crows, blue jays, nuthatches, chickadees. That's about all I'm seeing for wildlife. And the conspicuous absence of good light is making other compositions really, really difficult. I had wanted this month to practice some panos out here, get some great sunsets and sunrises. Didn't work out. Similarly, focus stacking, something I really don't do a lot of. I've tried it a few times. I'm more of a purist in that sense, F64 as it were. But I can definitely see the allure, and I am going to give it a whirl and see what we can accomplish. Being a home range photographer in a flatlander landscape can be challenging, but it's quite alluring, let's say. Constraints are good for your photography. Constraints of all kinds. That said, I'm gonna head down the island, see what I can find that way. Get back to the car before dark. I need a coffee. Ciao, thanks for watching. I'm Chris. This has been Photography.